Here is every setting you need to apply to ensure that NinjaTrader always runs super fast. Number 1 is to close any unopened or any unneeded workspaces. Often people don't even realize that they have a second workspace running. They're burning all of these resources when they don't need to. So go to your workspace menu, look for any gray squares, and make sure that these workspaces are closed. On every indicator put into NT8, you're going to have a setting that says how often this indicator is going to calculate itself. There's a good setting, which is on price change, which means it's going to calculate at any time price has changed, or on bar close. That's another good one. The one that you're watching for is on each tick. Why burn through cycles for every tick it gets recalculated if it doesn't change anything or you're not even using a tick chart? A good example of an indicator that only needs to be, for instance, on bar close is our free XABCD news indicator. This doesn't need to be calculated that often for most things. And after every bar that's closed, it's just good enough. By the way, if you want that free news indicator, go to XABCDtrading.com and look for the free news indicator underneath the menu that says indicators up at the top. Now, the third thing that's going to drastically impact your performance is changing inside your data series the default historical number of bars to load. Now, the default says 5 days. Change this to 1500 bars. Now, the reason for that is because as you scale up or down time frames, 5 days worth of tick data is way too much. 1500 bars will keep things super snappy and prevent you from loading unneeded data. Now I got 7 more tips to go. So in the meantime, while I'm doing those, whack that thumbs up button so a few more NinjaTrader users can see this. Tip number 4 is all about multi-core processing. Now, if you have 30 charts open and they're all in the ES with NinjaTrader, you're going to have those all running on one core and you're not going to be taking advantage of your multi-core system. What you want to do is make sure you have 30 different charts. So you're only going to have one ES chart open and you'll have one NQ chart open. You'll have one of these other ones. They will all be distributed all on their own core. So if you want to take advantage of multi-core, you're going to want to have one instrument on one chart, different instruments for every chart, not 30 of the same thing. Tip number 5 is really easy. Turn off those global crosshairs when you're not using them. They suck up resources. So it's good that it's very easy to turn on and off. Do it with a macro. Maybe have it directly on your mouse. You have a macro that turns them on and off. That way, whenever you're using them, you just flick them on and flick them off when you're not needed. That's what I do. Super easy, and it keeps things snappy. So unless you're on a laptop, you are probably running its own dedicated graphics card. So you want to make sure that you enable high performance dedicated graphics processor in order to use that graphics card. Otherwise, you're going to be stuck using that internal one. You don't want that. Now, number 7 is going to be to prefer, if you can, use a hardwired internet connection where you don't have poor latency. If you use a Wi-Fi one, you might have a super slow connection if you're in a hotel or at home. You might be farther away. You might be inside a basement. Who knows? But you want to make sure that if you can use a hardwired one, things are likely to be faster and more snappy because we rely on our internet to get all those price quotes. Number 8. Turn off Windows indexing on those NinjaTrader folders. There is no advantage to index every quote that gets downloaded. So make sure you keep your system snappy and turn that off. Number 9 is to make sure that NinjaTrader is not running on your OneDrive folder. If it is, it's probably getting file lock errors and it's going to be slowing things down. It's just going to cause you a nightmare. Make sure NinjaTrader is not running on a OneDrive folder and isn't being synced. Number 10, while we're doing this, make sure you hit that subscribe button so that you get alerted and notified of all these other cool videos that we do. So NinjaTrader cannot run fast if your system is bogged down with other stuff and doesn't have the resources for it to run. So make sure that you check your system to make sure it's healthy before you try and run NinjaTrader.